Okay. Hi, guys. All right. So if you are on this call or if you are listening to the recording of this call, it is probably because you recommitted to your goals and you recommitted to a rank that you want to hit and recommitted to how you're going to work your business. So we are super excited to have you, Deanna and I. So I have not discussed this with Deanna, but I'm just going to tell you because I've known her for 500 years. Being this strict is a little out of her comfort zone. She wants everybody to be included because she wants everybody to feel loved and happy. And so she will likely be having team cheerleading calls for her team. So if you are not a part of this, you can connect your people who didn't want to commit to the winning day accountability group. And Deanna will get something organized where she gets to cheer and love on everybody because everybody loves that part of Deanna. Would that be fair, Deanna?
Yes. And part of this winning day sheet, as you guys look at the sheet, and we've all looked at it and seen it and have worked it at some level. And I want everybody to know that it is a work in progress. I mean, it's neither one of us are perfect at this. I don't know that anyone is perfect at it, but part of that winning day is reaching out to your team, your people, that follow up, whether it's customers or fellow brand ambassadors, at all levels of commitment, all levels of sharing, and encouraging them. And so that really is part of the winning day. And this has been a growth opportunity for me to see, okay, look, this is not the arena for cheerleading. I mean, will we be congratulating people and cheering one another on throughout our call? Not necessarily the call, but on our thread. Yes, that we all need encouragement. We all need that support. But we've got a pretty small group starting right now. So we can be a little more intimate, a little more, but we have a short amount of time. And so in that short amount of time, we're going to be pretty down, down to it. And so that's a growth opportunity for me to see that in the coaching arena, that's what needs to happen. And just, okay, here's what it is. And here's what we need to get done. Let's do it. And then we can cheer the other days of the month, other days of the week, right?
Yeah. And Deanna and I have shared this with you guys before on a previous call that we had to do that in our Diamond Sprint group. And some people are gone and so there's some new people. But why was it important for me to do this and really lock it in? And that's because we've been doing this since February and nobody ranked up. Do you know what that tells me? We weren't actually doing it. Deanna and I have had point growth. I don't know that anybody else has except for McKenna and the brand new people. Right? The brand new people, but you guys have all been here for a while and nobody's points grew. So that really is an indicator, and it's not an emotional judgment. It's not anything. It's just a factual, those who do Emily Gibson stock coaching, in the circumstance, your points are this, or your points didn't grow over the last 5 months, however you want to put it, that can be proven in a court of law. So, and Deanna and I have had a couple months ago had really high points and then fell back a little bit. We're still doing really good, but the fact that everybody was saying they were doing the winning day every single day, but didn't grow in points or didn't add 3 people a month, that just tells me they weren't actually doing the winning day. And whether it was because we weren't training well enough, or because you just had reasons to not do the things, we've decided on our part as leaders to recommit to really trying to hone in on exact things that you can do that will make it easier for you to do the winning day, answer questions. Like if there's a certain aspect of it that's hard or that's giving you trouble, we're going to work on that. But our goal here is because we see the examples and we have the coaching that if you actually do those 7 things each day, you're going to grow. right? You just will. And it may take a month and a half to see the growth. Like it took me a minute to see the growth, and now it's bonkers. But if you're doing it, you're going to start growing, right? And so our job is to make sure you have all the tools you need to do those 7 things. We will cover some different things as it comes up and as we're taught it, but that's our goal. So part of the recommitment is that unless you are like in the hospital or taking a kid to the hospital or at an actual job where you have to clock in and clock out, you're on the calls with your camera on. If you're traveling with your family, you got to say, hey, I need 30 minutes to jump on this call because it's important to what I do. And that's keeping a commitment to yourself, and it's going to realign you week after week. There are times it is not convenient for us to get on our Diamond Sprint calls. We have to be on it with our cameras on every week. No matter what. No matter what. I've missed one call, and it's because I had to take Andrew to the doctor at the last minute when he was sick. So inconvenient, yes. A part of being in this group, yes. Any thoughts on that, Deanna, on like just being on the call and making it a priority?
Well, I mean, we've all experienced before, like you said, there are a few that can't because of an actual commitment, a 9 to 5. But the likelihood of going back and watching a recording, how many times have we ever done that? Maybe we have, but not every single time. And so what happens is that you just set yourself up for disappointment. And that's not what we want this group to be. This group is not, we're not your boss. We are fellow workers. We want the same thing. We want to grow, we want to develop, we want to make it and open up all the possibilities of this opportunity. So we're doing the same things. And so like Christy said, no emotion in the points, no emotion. Will it be emotional sometimes? Yes, because we do have emotions behind how things are going. But it's not the point growth or lack of is not emotional. There are just steps that we do. And so what's so nice about that is that allows for more growth because you can kind of step aside from that emotion. It's not going to drag you down. Anyway, so yes, it's so important to be here, even with your kiddos. Yeah, because that, you can pay attention a little bit better if you don't have them climbing all over you, but also it's okay for them to see working. You'll get so much more out of it.
Tiffany, did you have a question?
Yeah, and I guess it's, yes, I could see that not being on the Diamond Sprint call is a bit more scary per se of they're going to cut you out. You have to answer to that aspect where it's easier for us to see each other as friends, coworkers, and peers. And so it's easier for us to kind of not take it as seriously in that aspect where it really should be taken just as seriously, even though we're friends, because it is a matter of what we're doing and what our goals are. So that's what I'm thinking of as you're saying that. I was like, okay, I need to treat it much more seriously, even though you guys are my friends and you're nice and we cheer each other on, but my commitment to you is as serious as my commitment to myself.
Yeah. And we will be sharing the recording to the people who reached out to us in advance and let us know why they couldn't be on. Like we have one person who is decorating cakes right now at a bakery. She cannot be on the call. She will get the recording, right? So, okay. Other questions about that recommittal before we dive into a few things? Okay. Did everybody get the sheet that Deanna shared? Your monthly reset? Yay! I filled mine out last night. We would love for you, you can scan them or take a picture of them. Nobody's got a scanner anymore. Take a picture of it and shoot them over to Deanna and I to look at, just so that we know how to best serve you. Because some of our service for you may be not on these calls, but one-on-one calls or whatnot, if that makes sense. And some you may not be able to answer. And some you may have. So here's what I would say. There's one question. What do I want from my sponsor? Is that one of the questions? Why can't I find it? What do I need? Oh, the top thing I need from my sponsor, the last one. Okay. What I would prefer you do, for those of you in this group, what's the top thing you need from Deanna or I? Right? Because obviously my answer to that was not applicable. I don't have a sponsor that helps me with anything. And you may not have a sponsor that right now is digging in deep. So because we're coaching and this is going to be a great tool for us, what do you sponsor, as regardless of who your sponsor is, what can Deanna and I do best for you? And that may be something we do on this call that we find everybody is looking for. And we're like, oh, we need to teach on that. Or it may be something we set up a one-on-one call for. Cool. And so the goal here with this group is that everybody ranks up within 6 months. Do we want to rank up sooner? Probably. But I think for a lot of people with the goals that we saw, our first step for everybody on this call, from what I could tell, is a re-rank. Am I right? So right now, everybody is working on a re-rank and everybody sent points. And so it's important, Deanna has trained on this before, to know where those points are coming from. And if you don't have a posse of people that are working, then the points are going to come from you, right? That's going to be your new ads. And then the icing on the cake really is going to be reviving the dead, which is great right now with Reset. Reaching out to everybody about Reset, sharing boldly about the Reset. I mean, I've got 6 new people already from the Reset. So really sharing boldly with that. But one thing that we learned yesterday that was really like kind of a gut punch is the reminder that this big push with Reset, this is not momentum. This isn't like a momentum where our team's really doing all these amazing things and we're growing and everybody wants to be a part of us. This is excitement. There's a lot of excitement about this new product and everybody wanting to try it. And this is what we are in right now, is excitement, but you could turn this into momentum, right? Like I signed somebody yesterday who immediately said to the person next to her, hey, you should do this with me, but I want you to order it from me. And I was like, who taught this girl about network marketing? Like I've never, you know what I'm saying? Like, and she immediately within 15 minutes of joining added somebody. So can it turn into momentum? For sure, especially if we're selling Reset triplex welcome packs and getting people involved. But it's excitement. Does anybody have questions about specifically any of the winning day steps? Because I know you guys were all a part of it. So step 1, just briefly, and then cut me off if you have questions. That's really about sowing the seeds now for later. So these are new people. This is where you're going to spend time communicating with people that you are not already friends with on social media. They don't follow you on Instagram. You're not friends on Facebook. You weren't friends in high school, but you haven't chatted in a while. These are like legit new people. So what does that look like for you? Does it mean joining Facebook groups and starting to communicate with people? Does it mean being on Instagram and seeing a great post that you like from an influencer and then commenting on other people's comments? Like if somebody made a good comment and you click on it and you're like, oh, that person looks kind of cool, I'm going to comment with them. But keeping track of it so you know the people that you're starting to communicate with. All you're doing is sowing seeds for later. For me, it looks like right now, going to networking events in person. I found for me personally that just trying to grow through social media wasn't working for anymore. So my happy ass was at a networking meeting this morning at 8 a.m. meeting 13 new people. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to look like for you, but here's what I challenge you to do. If you feel like what you've been doing isn't working, get curious about what else you could do. What does that look like? Because for some, I mean, Deanna's like, every post is magic. When she posts consistently, everybody just joins her. Used to work for me, doesn't work anymore. Yeah, Deanna?
So one thing I wanted to say about that, because yes, I agree. And when you were saying that we will learn as we go through this, but we've talked about this before, but this is a recipe. This is a recipe from Genevieve, and it is a tried and true and proven recipe. And so before we give up on it, networking events, yes, for sure. And you did it the first thing. So you're already networking, you're talking to people, you're connecting with them. So don't, just the cautionary, don't say, oh, I'm not going to do that because I'm going to go to an event. Well, but you're actually doing it, Christy. Christy's actually going in the morning. And so that's like her first step. And so these new people that she's meeting and connecting, and I'm sure connecting on social media, then, okay, look, now we're friends. So those people, so for what it looks like for us, that those of us who are not going to a social event, it looks like that, what she was saying, commenting, warming up your audience so that you're and you don't have to do it one right after the other, but I mean, you do have to do it one right. There is a recipe, there is a step. So you do that. And then the next thing is to do your posts, to do your social posts. So just making sure that we actually pay attention to what this winning day, because we've had it floating around for a while, it's easy to go, oh yeah, I've already done that. I already know how to do that. I already know. So look at it, kind of just try to look at it with this winning day with new eyes, with fresh eyes, and go, okay, I'm actually going to give it a go. I'm going to follow the recipe. I'm not going to throw in, instead of eggs, I'm not going to throw in almond milk, or, okay. So just making sure that we do give it our best shot and adjust as we go. Yep. Does that make sense?
Okay, step 2, what your goal is with step 2 is to really activate the algorithm. So this is where you are communicating with the people that you're already connected to on Facebook. You're asking good questions. So if people comment on one of your posts, reply not with a, yeah, isn't it awesome? Or something like a question. Try to get the algorithm really going. Ask a question that they would likely reply to. This is you're sending your birthday messages. This is just really activating the algorithm and getting that going and working for you. Because remember, this is a recipe. So you're doing these things in order. Now, some make sense to like boom, 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 knock them out. Like I think steps 1, 2, and 3, if you could knock those out all at in one sitting, that would be fabulous. Just because it's going. And then other things can be spaced out, but it's kind of like, putting the ingredients in the right order so that it comes out best. It's super important in baking, not as important when you're making a casserole, right? But we're baking to rank up. Yeah, Tiff?
I gotta go. I've got somebody at my house.
Okay. We'll send you the recording. Thank you for jumping on. Okay, so then you're introducing 3 people to your Plexus vision. Okay, what did you see, Gavin? Introducing 3 people to your vision. And here's the thing, get really used to hearing no. In fact, be excited if you hear a no, because that means you're doing a good job. I remember one of the first books I read when I started this business was Go for No. And Deanna and I both did, I think. Just going for no, that means you're asking really direct questions that they can say no to. Or yes, or ask more questions. But recognizing that you're going to hear no typically in the very beginning of the conversation. And most people don't have enough information in the very beginning to give you a yes. And again, we've, Marquet and Amber, you guys have been a part of this team forever. We've talked a gazillion times about the no means to Plexus means nothing about you. So I'm not even going to go there, but actively looking for people who are searching for you to share Plexus with. They don't know they're searching for you, but they are. So actively looking for those people who are looking for you. So one of the, let's see, number 4, any questions? I'm just kind of recapping because we all know these things. So 4, following up with current ambassadors and potentials that you've already talked to. This is your credit card declines, your perks, credits, all of that, looking in your reports, follow-ups, your messaging. If you have not watched Tips from the Top from Juana, I don't know what day it was towards the end, about how her retention rate is so high. What she's doing in her follow-up is remarkable, like absolutely remarkable. So watch that video. I listened to it while writing. Now I'm going to go back and watch it and write it down and take really good notes so that, you know, and I'll share it with you guys, but I really would love for you to hear it from her because it's amazing. Then number 5, you're moving people to an event. So there are 6 Why Plexus Why Now calls a week that you can move people to. There is book club that you can move people to. You definitely want any of your new ambassadors on the community huddle each month. We have a ton of Plexus events where you don't even have to recreate the wheel. We will do a reset as of right now because so many people are ordering reset. I'll do this reset event every week. It'll start on a Tuesday every week until if at some point we need to go to every other week, but I have all the content and we will clear messages and do it every week. As long as we need to. Yeah, Marquet?
Are you going to keep that in the same exact group? Mm-hmm. So if people we have in there now will just see it over and over again unless they remove themselves?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so. I could start a new one, but then I'd have 500 million groups. I think I just archive the comments. And yeah. Deanna's the event queen. I am not. I just did this because she's in Oregon and typically she does the groups and events because she's super good at it. I'm not the best at it, but she knows how to like archive things and then let it start over. So she'll help me with that this weekend.
Sounds good.
Okay. But yes, so you can always, like I have somebody who ordered theirs. The girl from the gym who ordered hers yesterday and signed somebody, she's like, I really kind of want to know what it's going to look like. And I said, well, let me add you to the group this week so you get an idea. And then that also lets you share it, learn stuff to share it so that you get people ordering it so they can all do it with you next week. So that's an option, right? Okay, posting about your day, obvious. And then working with your posse. And this is where Deanna touched on people who are not in this group. They still need lots of love and coaching and encouragement. They're just not ready to like dig super deep. Like those of us on this call are ready to rank up. Like we are ready, like, let's go. Like, will it be hard? Will it be difficult? Maybe. We're going. We're doing it. Everybody else will be people that will get coaching at whatever level makes total sense for them. And that's where that time will be. Questions, thoughts, concerns?
I was just going to interject there. We'll go over this again, but talking about, and well, I'm just going to keep on saying it. So the statistics of success, you've got 80% of your points and your volume are going to come from 20% of the people that are working on your team. So, our thought is, I'm just going to have people work harder. So the one person that's shown interest, we're gonna let's see if they'll work harder. Let's see if they'll do more stuff. That is never, ever, ever going to happen, just so you know. People do decide to work. We've recommitted to work, but guess what? The more people, it's a numbers game. So the more people you have, so it's the pie. This is what Genevieve has talked about and shared, and I love it. Is you've got 20% of the pie that's going to be working. So if it's only just that 20%, then when you have a pie that's about this big, you're going to have this much work happening, like this much work happening. But if it's a pie that's this big or that's this big, then that 20% is still 20% of your pie, but your pie is this big. And so you're going to get that much more, that many more results. So the more people that you have, so it's a numbers game. And that's why it's so important to continue to do our winning days and continue to do the reach outs and continue to post, because there are people out there that are ready. They just need to keep seeing that you're consistent. They just need to keep seeing. And that's why Christy said, my posts are magic. They're not really magic. It's just that I've been posting for long enough, even though it's been the consistency rate or I haven't gone from thing to thing. It's still Plexus, always Plexus. And I still promote health and wellness. And so, I've got messages just from my reset, people saying, okay, I need your magic stuff. It is magic. Well, it's science, but it looks like magic. So, just don't go for bigger slices of the same piece of pie. Don't try to make that same piece of pie magically produce more things. Just make the pie bigger. So numbers game. And I love looking at our winning day again, because I look at the winning day sheet and go, oh yeah, there definitely are areas that I am going to improve on, because it will make me more successful. It will make my efforts that much better, my results that much better. That's what it is.
Anybody willing to share any part of the winning day that has been tougher for them to get done over the last few months? Not that it's a tough task, but it's something that you find yourself skipping over, but still claiming you got done.
I keep forgetting about the lives part. I'm like, oh yeah, I did a reel. Oh, I forgot a live. So that's like my unintentional skip as I'm looking at this again. I'm like, dang it, missed that part.
And just as often as you can, if you can go live twice a week, that's awesome. If you're going live in your stories and stuff.
Okay.
Really awesome. And your reels are super important. We learned that at convention. I want to talk about, does anybody else have anything that is particularly?
Number 4 is always a sticker for me, which is silly because it's just follow up. People need to be checked in on and giving an opportunity to, it never has worked for me to, in a growth aspect, to skip that step. That's always where I come back and go, oh, yeah, should have done that. And it's a simple step. And I think it's oh no, are they going to say they don't like it? Yes, sometimes they are. That's okay. It's not like I'm going to find a new problem. It's the same problems over and over. So I know how to handle those. So that's something that as looking at my winning day, I was like, oh yeah, actually maybe number 3 too, asking people to do the business.
And I think sometimes the follow-up, sometimes we think to ourselves, oh, well, they've already ordered. We'll follow up with them tomorrow. I'm super busy. We'll follow up with them tomorrow. And then all of a sudden we realize it's 3 weeks later and now they got their second order. And then, oh, guess what? They didn't want their second order because they never figured out how to take their. And so that's why follow-up, I think, is easy to slip off, at least for me, is because it's easy to be like, I'll check in tomorrow. Not even because I'm avoiding anything, because if I have the choice of like signing somebody new or following up with somebody that already ordered, I'm going to sign up somebody new. But that's where, like, if you're super busy, making sure you at least do some of at every step, even if it's half the amount of time, do every step. Yesterday, I've never heard it put like this, but yesterday Genevieve talked to us about in our business having 3 different funnels. And I really liked this because I've never segmented and looked at my business like this, but it's kind of genius. So what I'd like you to do is on your little piece of paper, draw 3 funnels, like 1, 2, 3, all next to each other. For me, it was just a V and then 2 lines down because I don't really draw. In the first one, I want you to write sale. And on the second one, I want you to write share. And on the third one, I want you to write post silver income opportunity. Sorry, the trash man's here. Okay, so what does this mean? This means that in order for us to have a consistently full business and pipeline, I've always thought of just having 1 pipeline. I'm constantly trying to get people in my pipeline to order, but I really need 3 pipelines. Sale is obvious. Those are our prospects. Those are the people we're trying to get to order. That's our sale funnel, people who haven't ordered yet. Then they order and they like their products or their products are coming. We want them in the share funnel. We're just trying to get them to share. So we have a funnel of people who are enjoying their products who we want to share. And then they start sharing, right? Because we've got this many people in our haven't shared funnel. And then maybe this many people start to share. They start to trickle out. When they start to share, they're going to go silver. And once they go silver, they move into the other funnel. Hey, what are you going to do with that $300 you earned this month? How fun is that? Like, isn't that awesome? You know, let's talk about what you would do if you earned, you know, another $300 this month. What would that help you with? And really getting to the heart of not a rank, not a dollar amount, but something in their life that they would like help with or they would like to change by earning more income. So we're not pushing them. We're pushing for ranks because we know, but people just out of silver, what we're trying to help them understand is get a grasp of what's important to them. So somebody shared with me yesterday, I'd really like to put my daughter in private school. My husband said, great, but he's not going to contribute to paying for it. So I've got to figure it out. So then I'm able to, what does that look like? You know, have you picked a school? Like really dig deep into why private school. Like clearly I'm an advocate of private school, but it's because you guys know me, but why private school? Why do you want your daughter to go to private school? Have you toured any of them? How much is it going to cost? Okay, so now I know what she needs to earn and why. And now we're looking at the income opportunity to get her daughter to private school. Not a prize, not anything, but that. So 3 different funnels. If you guys think about your business right now, can't you really think about, you actually have 3 funnels that I, at least for me, was not working very efficiently. I'm just kind of like, okay, let me help you. Let me help you. Oh, wait, you join. Okay, wait, do you want to post? Like, but if I think about it in 3 funnels, and if I actually like get my big dry erase board out or my big Post-it and I draw out my funnels, and I'm like, who's in what funnel? Guess what I'm going to do each day? I'm going to look and be like, oh, I need to connect with them and see how they're progressing through the funnel. What do you guys think about that?
Can I interject there too, because I really appreciated learn that as well, organizing things a little bit better. So especially when we onboard people initially and say, you can earn enough money to pay for your products for a month or 2, right? And so we just kind of go from there. What I don't typically address is the fact that that's a one-time bonus. And so I've started to talk about that a little bit more and let them know, look, this is a really great one-time bonus to kind of get you started and see the opportunity going forward. What would you be able to would you like to see how this can pay for your products going forward. So letting them know this is not, the 3 people that you signed up is not going to cover your products going forward. So would you like to continue getting your products paid for? So even just those little micro baby step commitments of, okay, you did that. Now what can we do? And definitely getting them to dream bigger. But they're not going to be a senior silver paying for private school, right? So vision casting, but a little bit at a time, because we're big dreamers. We can see it. We're like, yeah, but making sure that they understand the next step is to get your products paid for every month, and then have a little bit more, and then and more and more. So when they say yes to that, that opens the door for even more of an opportunity for them.
Yeah.
That's what I took away from that one. I like the funnels.
Yeah. Okay. So one more thing I want to touch on before I let you guys go. And then
Can I ask a quick question?
Yes, please.
Okay. So I am finding that I am having difficulty talking to people about getting started with the business and asking the right questions and all of that. Is there like a good training, like a book on what questions, like just kind of to get myself in the right mindset? Like I can't, we have like all the scripts, blah, 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 but in the here and now, in the actual real life, the scripts don't always work. So what recommendations can you professionals give this girl?
Well, I think so. I will just tell you what I have been taught, and what I'm learning is to actually ask them, hey, this may or may not be for you. Hey, Marquet, I don't know if you've ever thought of this. This may or may not be for you, but I'm wondering if, and so are you looking at going beyond that question, asking them, hey, Marquet, okay, so after they've said, yeah, tell me what, yeah, I think I would like to. Okay. And then ask them some of their goals. You need to find out their pain points. You need to find out, look, so what are some of the things that money would make a difference? Is it a couple $100s a month? Is it paying for your products? Because we can do that. And and just kind of asking them, so that, because they can't really go from paying for their products to paying for a college education. They can have that dream, they can have that hope, and it's good to ask them. But most people, it is paying for the next full tank of gas, really, is what it comes down to. So finding out where their pain point is and meeting them there and getting them going. So it's kind of like kindling that.
Okay.
Does that help?
It does help. Yeah. And I know it's just like kind of one of those, it's a skill that I need to learn to be able, to be able
practice. You only do it through practice, and you only do it through really kind of sucking at it.
Yeah,
I'm sucking at it now.
And it's okay to go back and say, hey, you know what? We had that conversation, and I think I kind of blew it out of the water. I think I kind of put it out there like, yeah, okay, let's go. I'll go to a trip to Hawaii, when really all you needed to do is pay for some extra groceries or pay for your gas. So let's take it way back. I didn't want to scare you away from the business thinking you had to do this. This is an opportunity where you can pay for to fill your tank, or pay for the classes, or pay down your debt, whatever it is that they have mentioned to you before, and just say, is that something that you're interested? Because it's not an all or nothing. So it's okay to go back to people. Some people will be responsive, and some people don't be afraid to say no. It means nothing about you. What it means is that you're willing to go back and say, hey, you know what? Our conversation was probably different than I wanted it to, or, it didn't turn out the way that I was hoping it would, not because of you, but because of me. So be willing to revisit that conversation. So just ask for that.
Yeah, something she shared with us 2 weeks ago. Also, first things first, she told us in the very, very beginning, way back in February, practice your business reach outs on people that you fully expect to say no, so you're not even surprised that they reject you. Like, if there's somebody you really, really want on your team that you think they're going to be awesome, don't practice on them. Practice on the people that you expect that are going to reject you or say no to you, right? and being okay sucking. And for me, lots of the reach outs were just like, hey, I don't know if you've considered at all earning any extra income, but if you have, I would love to chat with you about what I love and how I'm doing it. Something she shared with us, and this would really work, I guess, if people had a money issue or have been ordering, but I wrote this down from the call 2 weeks ago, which was, I just want you to know there's an income available to you here. At the very least, I'd love to help you get your products paid for. I just want you to know. And also, she likes us, she recommended that we really end any communication with anybody we're talking to. Hey, don't forget, Plexus prides itself on making sure money never becomes an issue with you getting healthier. So if you want to chat about getting your products paid for, I'm always available. You know, and they're going to say no, they're not interested, right? Or whatever, but something might come up where they're feeling really good 4 months down the road and there's a hiccup in the finances, and they might then be like, oh, but Marquez said over the last 4 months, multiple times, I could get my products paid for. Let me ask her about it now.
Okay.
Okay. So something I have not done a very good job of at all as a leader, but you guys are leaders, so hopefully we will each do a better job of this, is promoting Gold School and Rubies on the Rise. This is a really, really big deal of helping people get to Gold School. So of course, if you've hit gold or senior gold before, you can't, you don't get it for re-ranking. But if you help somebody hit gold, if you have a level 1 hit gold, you get to go with them. And it's once a quarter. It's amazing. I've heard amazing, amazing things about Gold School. And the objective and the goal we've been given personally is to be at Gold School every quarter. They want us at Gold School every quarter with at least one new level 1 who hit gold. So working on that. Rubies on the Rise is even better because they pay for almost everything you do. You got to get there. So Rubies on the Rise, and I think the next one, not the first one, I think the next one is in Fort Lauderdale on the beach, like 1 block over from where I lived. And you guys have been to my house. So Rubies on the Rise, you actually can get, if you've hit Ruby before, if you hit Ruby, you get to go. If you've hit Ruby or Senior Ruby before, you have to hit Senior Ruby again and then go up 200 points. So you have to reach 950 points to go to Ruby School. But talking to our people about, hey, you want to be at this event. Like you want to get to Gold School. This is so cool. Like, let's get you there. Like, and that's again in your income opportunity funnel. You're not talking to Gold School. I've not told my new person that joined yesterday and added 1 person. She does not know Gold School exists, right? We're only talking about sharing. She's in my sharing funnel. She's posted once. She's still in my sharing funnel. So really encouraging these things that Plexus is hosting for us, with us having a goal of being there. Any questions about the schools and how cool they are? Okay, so then, you know, setting up, everybody sent us their goals and their points and how and what they wanted. But now what you get to do is figure out how you're going to get there. Map it out. What does it look like? Feel free to jump on a call with either of us to have help mapping it out. But it means being like, okay, to hit that goal this month, I need to add X number of people because I expect my posse is so small and nobody's working. So I'm only going to get 1 or 2 ads or no ads from the rest of my team, which means like if you're expecting 100-point growth this month, that means you personally are adding like 17 people. Like, is that doable? I don't know. Could be with Reset, could totally be. We've all had huge enrollment months, but being really smart about your goals and figuring out where are those points coming from. And, you know, it's going to be mostly be new ads. If I'm being honest, for everybody on this call, it's going to be your personal ads. And if you can get, you know, 1 or 2 of your new ads to go silver, amazing. Absolutely amazing. And I think with people having great results from Reset right off the bat, that's going to help our silver rate. I really do think that it will. But so look at your goals. Deanna, did you want to share something? I know you're really passionate about this too, of mapping out where your points are coming from and not willy-nilly like picking a number out of thin air.
Well, I will, and Tiffany will listen to this back, but I think that was probably one of the biggest things when I had that light bulb moment, and then was able to talk to Tiffany on the call that one day and just kind of talk it back, because it's really easy to say, I want to be in the 1,000 point club. I was saying that for a long time. I want to be in 1,000 point club. I don't know where the points are coming from. They just appear, and not really assigning it to anyone, and, you know, being caught up in the cheering on of people. Like, we want all of those aspects in our team. We are a very supportive team, but it's so hard to get there if you're just like, it's unpredictable and there's a lot of disappointment along the way. So mapping those out, it doesn't mean that, you know, you might not have the person that is silver yet, but if you know, I need this many silvers, or I need this many, then you can start identifying the people that you're having your conversations with, and then you start filling in those slots, and then it makes more sense, and then it's more organized, and then there's less chaos. And that's what we want, is we want that calm, consistent growth, so that we can be excited about the exciting parts, the fun parts. We can celebrate the things. But yeah, going back and going, okay, I need 80 points, or I need 50 more points to reach my goal. Okay, well, that's 10 silvers or 8 silvers, or that's me adding my 3 and a few others. And so that actually is pretty exciting, I think, the mapping out part, because it makes it doable. It takes it, you know, breaks it down, so that you can look at that and go, oh, you know what? I can totally do this, reach this goal. You know what? I actually might need another quarter to get to my goal. That's okay, because I'm going to see the progress. Progress is progress. And so to be able to celebrate those wins along the way is so much better than, oh, I didn't reach my goal. Oh, I didn't reach my goal. We want to be able to celebrate. Look, I am 20 points ahead of where I'm 20 points ahead instead of 30 points behind. So makes a difference.
Yeah. So, and to help people rank up on your team, you've got to be able to get really specific with them on what they need to do. You know, how many people they need to talk to, who they're talking to, being in 3-way chat. So that's where we've covered a lot of territory. Any other thoughts, questions? You have a task today or within the next 48 hours to put in the chat your July goals. So your July goals will be your team points, your team point goal, your personal recruitment goal, your team recruitment goal, and then how many people you're going to have rank up on your team, levels 1 through 4. So that's what you got to put in the team chat, along with any takeaways that you have for from this call. And I could go on and on, but we'll save that for a different call. I just wanted to make sure everybody was really clear on what we're doing, what our purpose is, why we're trying to be so much more intentional, because you've come to us and said, I really want to rank up. And so we're coming back and going, we're going to dig deep to help you rank up. Not that we don't want everybody to rank up, but you guys have committed to really do the things on this checklist, which are the same things we're doing. every single day. We're in it with you. Like when it's hard for us too.
And you'll share your goals with us too, because that always motivates me too.
Yep. Mm-hmm. I wrote all of
where I fit into your goals.
Yep.
It does help. I mean, it helps to see other people's and go, oh yeah, that's a good idea. Oh, I could probably do that. I mean, we really do. And that's why it's so important to have a group. And so I'm glad you guys said yes and that you're in, because we do need that.
Yeah.
Cheering each other on.
Absolutely.
Holding each other accountable. Okay.
Okay, you guys
Thank
are
you.
awesome.
Thanks, Christy.
I
Good
will
call
see
today.
you next week. And if you guys need vision casting calls or whatever, reach out. I know I have one set with Marquet. You know, Amberly, if you want to set up one with your mom or whatever, goal casting, mapping out, let's do it. Bye, guys.
Okay. Love you. Thanks.
Bye.